Welcome back. We appreciate you checking in with us here at Warehousing Operations as a Career. I'm Marty, sharing a few thoughts and opinions as well as my own experiences about warehousing and operations each week. If you've checked out a couple of our shows, you've probably picked up on the idea that I really enjoy the industry. I love discussing its opportunities, its many tasks, and turning those jobs into careers as well. It was brought to my attention that I've mentioned the department or task of inventory control several times recently, so I thought we'd talk a little bit about that today. Many people assume that inventory control is really purely an AP, AR position or a task of the finance department. While true, the dollars or the product's cost and worth is really in their wheelhouse, these days, at least in the large production or distribution environments, we in the warehouse play a very significant role. Through item counts to identify shorts or not on truck and misshipped issues, to cycle counts, repacks or repack areas, and verifying warehouse and driver damages, all the way through the operational shrink, really. Many years ago, well, not that long ago, I guess, inventory was actually kept on little file cards. When product came in, it would be recorded on a card, maybe in a flip card binder, with the date it came in or was received. Then as product was sold, it'd be recorded with the date of sale, the quantity, maybe even an invoice number would be attached to it or recorded. Kind of a running record, if you will. Product and quantity that was received, quantity sold, and of course any damages or shrink would be deducted and noted on there as well. We've come a long way since those days. This is one of those departments, one like most, thankfully, that has really benefited from technology, computers, and systems. There's so many things that can affect our inventories, receiving errors, and they're rare these days due to how we receive and verify merchandise through SUPC and item codes and things like that. They can be verified using systems and scan equipment though. Then of course we have warehouse shrink. Shrink includes things like damages that occur through the unloading process, hauling or running of the pallets or forklift functions, even the selection process, loading, all the way to the delivery actually. Another component of shrink is sometimes spoilage, product that may go out of date due to misrotation through slotting or not rotating the item with strict FIFO or first in, first out processes. In my opinion, or from the ops perspective, I guess, there's really two types of spoilage accounting. The warehouse side that we just spoke of, and then a procurement or merchandising side such as overbuying, and sometimes it can land in a sales bucket or account due to it not moving quick enough or the sales forecast might have been incorrect or has changed somehow. I guess really more about spoilage later. Let me get back to the warehouse side or duties as it relates to inventory control. Today's distribution centers and production facilities as well will probably be utilizing some kind of an inventory system. There's really hundreds of them out there and available. Many of our larger companies have their own proprietary systems. Of course, these are quick and very efficient as they're built to our exact needs without any additional steps, keystrokes, or processes to get the information that's needed for our individual houses or opcos. Most of today's systems can eliminate the need for closing the facility for a day through utilizing an accounting practice known as cycle counts. Now, not being an accountant myself, I won't venture into the rules and regulations governing accounting really at all, but we can discuss what cycle counting means to us on the floor or as warehouse men and women. I used to hate inventory days. We literally would have to close the facility for the entire day, usually over the weekend, and literally counted every box in the warehouse by item and by pallet. It was quite the process. Salesmen, merchandisers, actually everyone would come in. We'd each be assigned aisles and would take off counting every case. We'd bring the case count sheets to a control table where the items, everything would be added up and tallied right there. Then we'd get more sheets and go out, count different items, or sometimes be sent back out to recount something that others had already counted and maybe got a bad count. It'd be a very long day. A very inefficient system time-wise, but hey, that's how it used to be done. Today, cycle counts are a daily function. very efficient, and they help identify and capture even how a loss has occurred. In many facilities, especially the larger centers, the finance department will send a set or a list of items to be counted every day to an inventory control person to go out to the aisles and count the cases. Most of these facilities will be utilizing a directed system, meaning the system will give us the pick slots and the reserve locations to find the product in and verify that that count is as recorded. The counts are assigned in such a manner that in a year or every 6 months or every quarter, whatever your particular accounting responsibilities are, every item will be counted and inventory will be in sync and it's accounted for. Other counts that could be given to us may be to determine whether a case that transportation said was short or not on the truck was actually selected at all. If we go to a slot and count it, if we're a case over, it would be tagged as not selected by the warehouse or a warehouse error. And if the count is correct, then it would be tagged to transportation as it was selected and loaded. Possibly it was given to the wrong stop. Then, of course, all damages have to be recorded as well. We'll have an assigned area to drop off any damaged products so inventory control can deduct it properly and assign that area to the correct cost center or cost it out to the proper task like unloading, hauling, or pallet running, the forklifts, pretty much any area that touches the case. Not really to assign blame necessarily, but to cost it out correctly. Transportation will have an area for any damages or returns, where that product's placed as well. So those cases can be deducted, as they should also. As inventory control, we will probably be using powered equipment, typically pallet jacks and even forklifts. So yes, we'll need to go through the 29 CFR 1910.178 class. And let's remember, we never want to get on any piece of powered industrial equipment or operate any machine that we haven't been trained to do so. I know I harp on it quite a bit, but hey, it's the law. And we each need to protect ourselves for our families, right? A couple of the PPEs or personal protective equipment we may be utilizing could include steel-toe boots or shoes. I personally prefer boots as we'll be working around pallets, bending over into bays or pick slots. And we have much more ankle support and protection than with just the shoe types. I usually wear my steel-toe shoes when I'm just walking the warehouse, but always put my boots on when I'll be working around pallets or using any type of equipment. A good bright safety vest is great in this position as well. We'll be in the aisles working around pallet jacks and lifts. It'll help them see us and probably make them feel more at ease knowing we're wearing them as well. Maybe a pair of safety glasses also. They'll come in handy should we be doing any lift work, looking up while we're retrieving a pallet from the reserve locations. Use whatever equipment your facility requires, and remember, they're actually to protect us from harm. Let's wear them. Inventory control is a great job, a very important task. We'll need to be accurate and detail-oriented, and it's a good position to transition into other tasks as well. I've known many men and women that moved into pallet running, order selection, even fork positions, and a couple into the transportation as drivers too. Actually, I just thought of an individual that moved over to the routing department, and he did very well with it. It's even a good pathway into the AP/AR departments. I have a longtime friend that started as a cycle counter who's now running an inventory control department on the finance side. He's made a great long-term career out of it. It's also a great position to transition into from the warehouse. I've seen warehouse clerks, forklift drivers, and a quality control warehouseman transfer into inventory control and made careers out of it. Really enjoyed their positions and were very successful with them. I hope we're picking up on the theme here. All the positions we've talked about throughout this series of episodes are great positions and jobs. Every job teaches us something we can learn or use to learn other tasks with, but they're all potential careers for us as well. What's important is to do something we enjoy, that we're the best at, show up every day on time, and do the job to the best of our abilities. If you have any questions about the position or anything we talked about today, please send us an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasAcareer.com. and I'll reach out and I'll be sure to get us an answer. As always, feel free to share your experiences on our Facebook and Twitter feeds, and catch up on any missed episodes on iTunes, Google Play, or TuneIn Radio, or the website at warehouseandoperationsAsAcareer.com. Please remember, safety is our first concern, our first responsibility in any position. Let's ensure we have a long and productive life.